Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. As we wrap this one up, Padres get a very nice win here tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks by a final score of 10-4. The Padres offense on full display, 10 runs on 13 hits. Michael King, 6 really solid innings in this game. The Padres have won 2 in a row, and now they have an opportunity to win 3 out of 4 with a win tomorrow in the series finale against Arizona. Miguel Andujar, one of the stars of the night, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs in this game. I caught up with Miguel on the field moments ago.
Miguel, a big night for the Padres offense, 10 runs on 13 hits. What did this lineup do well collectively tonight?
I see like everybody aggressive today. I think everybody put something together for win this game and, keep doing it.
For you personally, 3 doubles. How were you able to get so many good swings off tonight?
I'm trying to execute my plan. I worked hard with the hitting coach and the cage and try to do it again.
What has the process looked like behind the scenes for this offense to try to get going a little bit more?
I see the boys more aggressive, spin the ball well and try to continue doing that.
You were in the dugout tonight DHing, but I would imagine watching Michael King, the way he pitched tonight, that had to be pretty fun.
It was amazing, his job, like mostly always, I know Michael since a couple years ago, so it's fun to watch. And how he pitching.
2 straight wins. How do you keep the momentum going into this final week of the first half?
Keep going, keep working hard and keep winning games. That's what we want.
Miguel, nice win. Great job tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Miguel.
That was Miguel Andujar right after tonight's 10-4 win against the Arizona Diamondbacks as the Padres have won 2 in a row. Really nice night. Early in all facets for the Padres in this one. When we come back, we have a lot of radio highlights to get to on a big night for the lineup. We'll talk about what Michael King did. We'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen coming up as well. Final score again, Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4. Our postgame coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Nothing goes better with San Diego.
Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Final score as the Padres win a second consecutive game. The Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player with a top 100 spa, an epic rooftop pool, and Lux Hotel Suites. Jamul Casino Resort is the mini vacay you need. The Player's Place. Let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, once again, the Padres allowed a first-inning run. Eldemaro Vargas drew a one-out walk against Michael King. He stole second base. Gabriel Moreno at the plate for Arizona.
3-2 again, and a line drive over the head of Sheets up the right field line, and just fair. That'll get a run home. Vargas scores easily from second base. Tatis's throw comes in, and an RBI double for Moreno as Arizona strikes in the first inning for a fifth consecutive game. 1-0 D-back.
Yeah, again, Arizona scoring early, but that's all King gave up in the first inning. Padres trailed 1-0 going bottom three against D-back starter Jose Cabrera. To that point, he had been very good. He issued a one-out walk to Sungmoon Song in that third. Fernando Tatis Jr. laid down a bunt single. That put runners on first and second with one man away. Song and Tatis then pulled off a double steal with a runner 90 feet away. Jackson Merrill grounded out. That scored Song. It was 1-1. We still had a 1-1 game. In the fourth inning, Cabrera got the first two outs of the inning, but then a walk allowed Luis Campusano to reach. Miguel Andujar was next.
0-1, the pitch, and Andujar hits it in the air, deep down the left field line. Kepler back towards the corner. That is a fair ball. Gonna one-hop up against the side wall. Campusano racing around third on his way. The relay to the plate, not in time. Campusano scores all the way from first base. It's an RBI double for Andujar. And for the first time tonight, the Padres lead. It's 2-1.
First hit of the night for Andujar. He was far from done. Padres set a 2-1 lead after four. Let's go bottom five. Padres still up 2-1 after Michael King settled in. Cabrera hit Fernando Tatis Jr. with one out. Tatis stole second base. Jackson Merrill then reached on a comebacker to Cabrera. He spun and tried to catch Tatis off second base instead of simply getting the out at first, which he definitely had. It cost him. Everybody was safe as Merrill reached first base. Cabrera then balked the runners to second and third. All of a sudden, Padres had two in scoring position. The infield drawn in for Xander Bogaerts.
Here's the pitch. Bogart swings, hits it on the ground, off the glove of the diving Vargas, takes into left field. Fernando has scored. Merrill's right behind him. A two-run single for Xander Bogaerts. The Padre lead is now 4-1.
Padres led 4-1 after five. King went back to work in the sixth inning. He got in a little bit of trouble, 2 on with the one out, but King would get out of it. Bottom half of the sixth, Padres still leading 4-1. Taylor Clark on the mound for Arizona. Luis Campusano led off the frame.
0 pitch, and Luis swings, sends it in the air, deep to left center field. Kepler is back. He's looking up. This one, gonna go! Luis Campusano with his fourth of the year. On base for the third time tonight. And out to left center field, a lead homer here in the sixth inning. And the Padre lead is 5-1.
Now, Luis Campusano picking up right where he left off before he went on the IL. He was swinging the bat really, really well. The home run for Campy. Padres were far from done in that sixth inning. Miguel Andujar doubled. He was in scoring position for Sungmoon Song.
And a 1-2 to Song, rolled through the right side, and a base hit. Carroll charging, doesn't have a great arm. Andujar rounding third on the way. He slides feet first, safe into home, and the Padres have once again extended the lead. Andujar with a bad hand, a little bit hobbled as he goes back down the dugout steps, but he scores from second base at 6-1.
Song then went to second on an errant pickoff throw from Clark. Fernando Tatis Jr. at the plate.
2-2 is a line drive base hit into left field. Song racing around third, bobbled by Kepler, gets a throwing cut by Arenado. He bobbles it. Tatis into second, and it's 7-1.
Padres just kept the line moving. Tatis on second for Jackson Merrill.
So it'll be Merrill with a runner on second. He hits one through the right side of the base hit. Fernando rounding third. Carroll not even going to try. Just bounces it into Pavin Smith. RBI single Jackson Merrill. It is 8-1 here in the sixth inning.
Padres scoring 4 runs in the sixth. They led 8-1 after 6. King was done after 6 innings. He was really good here today. He allowed just 1 run on 4 hits, 92 pitches. Ron Marinaccio came on for the top of the 7th. He'd give up a 2-run shot to the number 9 batter, Tommy Troy. That made it 8-3. But the Padres answered in the bottom half of the 7th. Jake Cronenworth hit a 1-out double. He was on third base for Miguel Andujar.
1-1 hit hard on the ground at third. Off the glove of Arenado, down the line, all the way into the left field corner. Cronenworth into score. And how about Miguel Andujar into second base with his third double of the night. 9-3 here in the 7th.
Yeah, believe it or not, Padres were not done. Next up, Jace Bowen.
Bowen hits it on a line into left field. That's a base hit. Andujar's going to be waved. He's on his way. Pat Hammy and all. He's going to score again. RBI single, Jace Bowen, 10-3.
So a 2-run 7th inning. Arizona would get a run back in the top of the 8th inning to make it 10-4. But in the 9th inning, with the Padres leading by 6, Kyle Hart back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work, and Hart put on the finishing touch.
Hart comes set and ready. Now the payoff pitch. Marte hits it on the ground to the right side. Sheets has it way off the line. Underhand feed is in time. Hart covering, and the ball game is over. Padres have tied their season high by scoring 10 runs. They only give up 4. And for the third time in the last 4 games, the Pods are in the win column.
Really nice win tonight for the Padres. They beat the Diamondbacks 10-4. They've won 2 in a row. Like Jesse said, they've won 3 out of 4 now after that 8-game losing skid that saw the final game of those 8 on Saturday in LA. So the Padres at least getting this thing pointed in the right direction. They've won 3 out of 4 and now an opportunity to win this series, this 4-game set against Arizona tomorrow. The 10 runs the Padres scored here tonight tie a season high. And the first time the Padres had scored more than 7 runs since June 13th, a span of 23 games. So the Padres offense getting it done in a major way. How about this? Padres scored 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th inning, 2 in the 5th inning, 4 in the 6th inning, 2 in the 7th inning. They scored runs in 5 consecutive innings. So the scoring came early. It came often. 10 runs on 13 hits. Arizona, 4 runs on 10 hits. The Padres even up their record at 46-46. And the D-backs are now 45-47 on the year. Michael King, the winning pitcher, he was really good today. 6 innings, 1 run allowed. He improves to 6-7. And the young right-hander Jose Cabrera takes the loss. He's now 0-2 in his big league career. When we come back to Petco Park, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Again, the Padres win it 10-4 against the Diamondbacks on this Wednesday evening. Our postgame coverage continues after this.
We'll be
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Final score here tonight, the Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4. Padres dropping the series opener 8-0 on Monday. Didn't feel particularly good on Monday, but the Padres getting a couple of really, really nice wins yesterday and today. Different kinds of wins. Yesterday certainly a lot closer with a 4-1 final score, but similar in, I think, a couple of ways. Number one, the Padres, both yesterday and today, got good performances from their starting pitching. German Marquez going 5 innings, allowing 1 unearned run in yesterday's win. And then here today, Michael King was really good, really, really good. 6 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 92 pitches, did a really nice job in this ball game. Just shows you the power of good starting pitching. It's such a game changer and gives you such a better chance to win a ball game. The other similarity between last night and tonight is the Padres offense scoring early. Now, very, very different games offensively. Yesterday, Padres scored 4 runs on only 6 hits, and the 4 runs came in the first inning. They did not score again. Today's similar kind of thing in the sense that they scored early. I mean, they got 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th inning after Arizona gave up, or I should say scored a run in the top of the 1st, but then they poured it on after that. I just love the way the Padres took full advantage of the D-back bullpen and some of the lower leverage guys in their pen. I mean, I'll give you an example. Taylor Clark, who came in for the 6th inning, I mean, he just did not have it. And the Padres did a really, really good job getting on him, even against the starter, Cabrera, after he threw 2 scoreless innings to begin his night. Padres did a good job making him pay for some mistakes. Some examples of that. Cabrera is 2 1/3 innings in the 3rd, working with a 1-0 lead. Walks Sungmoon Song. Tatis singles, and the Padres manufacture a run. They make him pay for that walk. Song eventually comes in to score. The 4th inning, Cabrera gets the first 2 outs of the inning, and then he walks Campusano. They made him pay again with the RBI double by Andujar. Padres took a 2-1 lead. Then the 5th inning, they're leading 2-1. Cabrera gets the first out, but then hits Tatis, an infield single for Merrill, and that was the play where Cabrera. It was the comebacker off the bat of Merrill, and Cabrera looked to second base, threw to second, and it was a fielder's choice, of course, for Jackson there. But either way, the comebacker to Cabrera did something he really shouldn't have done, which was look to second base, and then he kind of panicked and threw behind Tatis at second base, and he was never going to get Tatis that way. Got back into second, and by the time he did that, he had wasted so much time that they couldn't get the out at first base. So instead of, let's say, a runner on second 2 men away, then you had runners on first and second with 1 out, and then Cabrera compounded the error by balking Tatis to third, Merrill to second, and not only did that put 2 runners in scoring position, it meant the Diamondbacks infield had to come in, and then Bogarts gets a ground ball through the drawn-in infield. If the infield's not in, I don't think that's probably a hit for Xander, but the infield drawn in, gets it beyond the dive of the shortstop, Vargas, ends up being a 2-run single, and boom, just like that turned into a 2-run inning, a 4-1 Padre lead. So Padres did a good job tonight making Cabrera, the young starting pitcher, pay for some mistakes. They did a good job tonight getting to the D-back bullpen, and on top of that, Michael King, a really good start. So shows you the power of some good offense and some good starting pitching, and what felt like a much-needed win here tonight with the offense coming alive the way they did, and hopefully a sign of things to come tomorrow, and hopefully the Padres can win a series tomorrow and sort of get things pointed back in the right direction heading into the final series before the All-Star break. With all that in mind, let's go downstairs and hear some post-game reaction from Craig Stammen.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
How nice was it to have one of those? Put it on someone. Yeah, very nice to add on, get the lead, and then add on a couple times and get a comfortable lead where we don't have to use, the back end leverage guys every time we win.
How much is Campusano's return kind of lengthened your lineup considering the way he's hitting? And I guess some other guys about in your lineup too.
Yeah, you're exactly. I think that's what we hope from Campy. Getting a chance this year and bringing his bat into the lineup. The last few years with our catching situation, we've got great catchers, but offense hasn't been, their number one thing. Campy's bringing the ability to leave the yard, get a big hit anytime he comes up to the plate, and he's swinging with confidence, playing with confidence. It's fun to see.
What'd you think of Michael tonight?
Michael's great. I think that first inning, him laughing with Ketel Marte might have taken him out of his, focus a little bit, walks the next guy, ends up giving the double right on the line. So, gives up that run, but bounces back right out of it, gives 5 shutout, finishes that 6, gets out of it, and then handed it over to the bullpen. But great outing from him.
How would you kind of size up what his first half of the season has been? Because he's obviously got pretty good numbers. I think he would say he hasn't been as good as he wants to be. What would you kind of size it up?
Yeah, he wants to never give up a run ever in his entire life, which we know is impossible. But Michael has fought through everything this year. He has taken the ball for us every single time. He's one guy that we look forward to in the rotation. We know we have a really good shot when he's our starting pitcher, and he's pitched really well for the majority of the season. He's had a couple outings, as everybody does throughout the year, that don't go his way, but he's definitely our number one and the guy we look to get us on track.
Since Jake got back, he's been doing pretty good. You guys have dealt with a lot of injuries this season. Your thoughts on you guys getting back and getting that good from those type of injuries?
Yeah, you're right. It makes our lineup better. We get Jake Cronenworth and Luis Camposano, stick them in the lineup, and our offense is naturally better with those guys. They take great at bats. They can do damage. They can drive in runs. They can move runners. They can waste pitches. So it's great to have those two guys back in the lineup. The other guys that were here before them held the line, got it to where we're still in the hunt, and those guys came back, and hopefully this jump starts our offense a little bit to keep going.
There was a big day for Miguel Andújar on the plate. Any thoughts on his appearance at the plate with 3 doubles, runs by the
Yeah, it was great. We got Manny getting the day off today, so we get the other, another big right-handed bat in there, and he has been limited plate appearances here against right-handed pitching, and tonight he showed why we need to put him in the lineup more often. So, Miggy had a great game today. Just what we expected from him. He's a doubles machine, and he had 3 of them tonight.
I know you want more of those 4-run innings, and you guys end up scoring a lot. But back when it's 1-0, you guys manufactured a run and kind of made some things happen. That's maybe been wanting a little bit. What did you think of being able to do that?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think that's how you've got to get into the game, is manufacturing runs. And then once you've gotten the lead, they're not going to bring their leverage guys in all that often. And that's when you've got to tack on and catch that back end of their bullpen. That's maybe not their leverage guys. It's always going to be tough to score on leverage guys. But if we can manufacture runs off the starting pitcher, get him out of the game a little earlier, and then tack on runs late, that's a winning recipe for this team. Is it going to happen like that every single time? No, but we need it. We need it to happen more often.
How did Manny go through today, and what's his availability look like for tomorrow?
Yeah, Manny's back in there tomorrow. His toe is just a little sore. He had a root canal done today, so. This was a day he and I had planned a day off in this series at some point. It happened that he just had this toothache, and they scheduled it for today, and got that done. He was just a little sore after that, and it coincides with the ball off his foot yesterday. So good day for him to take the day off. We were able to get a win without him, which is huge. Makes you feel good about giving him a rest day and then also getting a win. That's a double whammy for the Padres, and get him back in there against Merrill Kelly tomorrow. They said he was in the grass for too long. He wasn't in the dirt at the 45-foot line. That was kind of their explanation.
In the 5th inning, Fernando gets hit by the pitch, and then it seemed like he frustrated Cabrera with the way he was running the bases. Just what did you kind of notice about the way he kind of frustrated him? Because even on the plate that Jackson hit, instead of going to get Jackson out, he decided to go to second and do.
Yeah, exactly. I think Toddy can impact the game in so many ways. And we saw a lot of that tonight. And just he was on base, I think, twice without swinging the bat. Bunt base hit, getting hit by a pitch, and he was wreaking havoc on the game. We see a sliding catch out in the outfield that a normal person makes look normal, and he makes it look spectacular. So And I think what you saw was correct, is him dancing around at second base, forcing that pitcher to not only hold him at second base, but also make a pitch to the pitcher. That's a very difficult thing to do. And his quickness to be able to read that ball back to the pitcher, get back to the base in time, get Jackson safe at first is, enormous in that inning. You could argue that was, game-changing play right there.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 10-4 win for the Padres against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. The Players Place, a lot of good stuff to chew on there from Craig. I agree. I thought Fernando had a big impact on this game. The bunt single in the third, hit by a pitch, stole a base, and created a distraction for Cabrera, I thought, in the fifth inning, like Craig alluded to there, and then had a single RBI and a run scored in the sixth inning. Did a really nice job today, and in fact, that was part of our pregame today, right? We sort of wondered what kind of impact Fernando would have on this game, and I talked last night about, and I talked about a pregame today, that I thought last night, even when Marquez gave up the early run in the top of the first inning, the fact that Fernando then responded immediately in the bottom half against Gallen with a booming double and then eventually scores the Padres' first run, kick-started that big bottom half of the first inning. I thought that was big last night, and I thought Fernando played really well tonight. Obviously, Andujar had the big game with 3 doubles. Luis Campusano had another really good night, the home run. When we come back, let's talk more about Luis Campusano, because I think that's such a major development. If he is back and hitting the baseball like he was before he went on the IL, that is a major development for the Padres in that position in particular. So we'll discuss that when we return. We'll also have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up in a little bit as well. If you want to get a phone call in on this late Wednesday night, late post-game show today with the 7:10 start time due to national TV, but we're hanging with you on this Wednesday. Padres win it 10-4. Our post-game coverage continues after this.
Sid's Carpet Barn is San Diego's undisputed.
Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. As we continue our postgame coverage live here from Petco Park, final score Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4. Before we get into some of our daily awards, for a look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming your way, let's talk a little bit about Luis Campusano. We haven't talked about him a ton yet tonight, and we certainly have to. Luis had a really good night. 2 hits, a home run for Campy, his 4th of the season. And the fact that Luis Campusano has essentially, from an offensive standpoint, picked up right from where he left off. I mean, since coming off the IL with the fractured toe, he's now 5 for 11 with a home run, 3 walks, 3 runs scored. He's doing a nice job. He's 5 for 11. Plenty productive at the plate. Now, remember, Campy missed 2 months, essentially. He missed from May 5th until July 4th and was activated right before July 4th. The fact that Luis Campusano has just come back from the injury and offensively shown no rust at all, I think is a really good sign. I mean, no disrespect to Freddie Fermin and Rodolfo Duran, but offensively, what you get from Luis Campusano when he's playing like this, it's just on another level. It adds an entirely different dimension to the position. It does. It does. And you look at Campy's numbers overall this year, and again, it's only 23 games because he had the injury in early May, but you kind of look at the full picture of his season around the injury, and you almost start dreaming of what a healthy year could look like, or at least a healthy rest of the year could look like for Campy. We got plenty of baseball left. Let's hope Campy stays healthy, finishes out the year, final 3 months. Here are Campy's numbers, 23 games in. He's got 63 bats. He's hitting .317. He's got a .403 on base. He's got a .1022 OPS. He's got 4 home runs, 7 doubles, 11 RBIs, and 12 runs scored. Again, just the average in OPS, .317 and .1022. Is it a small sample as far as at bats? Yeah, it's only 63. But when Campy has been healthy this year, he has been remarkably productive, and especially considering all his struggles last year and the limited playing time and sitting on the bench, and, we don't have to relitigate all that last year and, him sitting on the bench for weeks, it seemed like, at a time. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Luis Campusano in not only now the way that he showed up in 2026 and has been so productive offensively, but also the fact that he's now come back from missing 2 months of major league at-bats and picked up right where he left off. And look, there's just no way around it. He provides something offensively that you just don't get with Fermin and Duran. Now, defensively, do you probably get more from Fermin and Duran? Yeah. But look, if Campy's going to hit like this, I mean, he's going to play more nights than not. And it almost makes you wonder, and I'll give a little credit to Ben Higgins of Ben and Woods. He tweeted this out earlier. I saw it almost makes you wonder when Campy's not in there, should he be the DH? I mean, he's swinging the bat that well when he's playing this season that it almost makes you think, hey, if he's not behind the plate, he's got to be in the lineup. Now, how you maneuver that day to day, we'll see. But you got to give a lot of credit to Luis. I mean, he has just been really, really good. Really, really good when he's been in there and healthy. So big home run tonight, 2 hits tonight, and continues when he's getting playing time. And when he's healthy, he has been really productive with the bat. It's been a lot of fun to watch. So good stuff from Campy. And I should also mention, caught a good game today. Caught a good start for Michael King. I'll add that on before we get to some of our daily awards. I do think another good sign for the Padres is that Michael King has had 2 good starts in a row. Okay, remember the outing in LA, he was through 6 scoreless innings. Then the 7th inning happened. Now, he did allow a couple of base runners to begin that 7th inning in L.A., but then you had the Cronenworth error. Remember that? Then you had the Teoscar Hernandez grand slam, the next pitch with Morajón. So 2 runs charged against Michael King, but there's a world there where the Padres don't give up any and they win the game. So look, Michael has now put together, I would say, 2 very, very effective, lengthy starts of 6+ innings. So that's a good sign. The Jake Cronenworth development of him swinging the bat well, had a double and a run scored today. That's a good sign. And again, you don't want to make too much out of a 3-4 game span, but after losing 8 in a row, the Padres have now won 3 of 4. They have an opportunity tomorrow to win a series, make it 4 out of 5. Hopefully they can do that. And then maybe you start to feel a little bit better about this team's direction heading into the All-Star break. Of course, they've got the series against the Blue Jays before the break, but we've talked a lot about how important this week was. And look, the road trip before it was also very important. They're all important right now, and especially with this kind of hole the Padres have dug themselves with the play as of late. I mean, even after tonight, and even after winning 3 out of 4, the Padres are 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. And they've got a bunch of teams in between them and that playoff spot. Now, it is July 8th. We've got a lot of baseball left to play. An awfully lot of tons of baseball left to play. However, I think the point was when they started this week, they really couldn't afford to have a week anything like what they had the week before. That was like a bottom line. You couldn't have another bad week. You win tomorrow, you win a series 3 out of 4, you've won 4 out of 5, and I do think all of a sudden you've got a Blue Jays team that, they went to the World Series last year, but they're not having a great year. Then you go into the weekend saying, hey, let's go win another series, and you can take some positive momentum and some good feeling into the break. So some things pointing in the right direction. We'll see if the Padres can win a series tomorrow. Let's tell you about tonight's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game, we'll give it to Kyle Hart tonight. 2 innings out of the bullpen, gave up a run, 3 hits, not necessarily slamming the door shut, as the intro says, but good job by Kyle. 2 innings, got the job done, closed out the game, big lead to work with. Nice job by Kyle Hart. Ron Marinaccio, not great tonight, gave up the home run to Tommy Troy in the 7th inning. So he goes 1 inning, gives up 2 runs on 3 hits, including the home run, but good enough job of the bullpen, working with a large lead tonight. Kyle Hart, the 2 innings out of the pen, our relief pitcher of the game. Let's tell you about the Padres' heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health Medical Group.
Part of the order here tonight, 3, 4, 5 spots. Xander Bogaerts had a big 2-run single in this game. He was 1 for 5, but the 1 hit was really, really big to make it a 4-1 game in the 5th inning. Gavin Sheets, an 0 for 4. Jake Cronenworth, a double, and a run scored in this one. So combined, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored for the 3, 4, 5 spots. But you could certainly argue the biggest hit of the night was that Bogaerts 2-run single, because the Padres only led 2-1 in the 5th inning at that point. Again, like I said earlier, I thought the Padres did a really good job tonight of just taking advantage of mistakes. Again, 2-out walk, or I should say 1-out walk in the 3rd against Cabrera. That run comes into score. 2-out walk in the 4th inning by Cabrera. That run comes into score. Then you had the hit batsman in the 5th inning. The comebacker back to Cabrera, where he kind of froze and threw behind Tatis at second base, didn't get anybody out. Then he balked the runners to 2nd and 3rd. They made him pay for that. The Bogaerts 2-run single with the infield drawn in. So Padres did a good job today, just making the Diamondbacks pay, making them pay in a number of different ways, which is what you want to do as an offense. And look, I couldn't actually believe this, and I should believe it because I've been on the air for nearly every game this year. And I pay attention very closely to every game. But when I found out, or I realized that when they hit the 10-run mark, that tied their season high. It's the 3rd time they've done it, hit 10 runs this season, hit that 10-run mark. I kind of did a double take, because it's kind of hard to believe at this point in the year, 92 games in, you would think there'd be an 11, a 12, a 13 on the board somewhere, but no, they have not scored more than 10 runs this season. Now, 10's a lot. You would think there would be kind of a bigger outburst than that at some point during the year, but, look, this has not been a great offense this season, but, they've been better lately, and a good day here today. Very good job just taking advantage of some of the mistakes and the miscues and the walks and some of the opportunities given to them by Arizona tonight. When we come back, we'll take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for the series finale against the D-backs tomorrow. Again, the final score today, Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4 on the Padres Radio Network.
Keep it locked.
Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here tonight, Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4, as the Padres have won 2 in a row. They've won 3 out of 4. They'll go for a series win in this final game of this 4-game set against the D-backs tomorrow. We'll talk more about tomorrow's game coming up in just a little bit. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on around the majors on this Wednesday.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We take a look at the full out-of-town scoreboard. Everything has gone final on this Wednesday. My goodness, I'd hope so. It's 11:05 p.m. Blue Jays beat the Giants 10-0 in San Francisco. The offense was the secondary story for the Jays. Dylan Cease, yes, the former Padre, took a no-hitter into the 9th inning. It was broken up in the 9th. Came out of the game after that. 11 strikeouts, 8 innings, no runs given up, and no hits through the first 8 for Dylan Cease. Would have been obviously his second no-hitter. His first came as a Padre in 2024. So Dylan Cease, a no-hitter into the 9th inning, but could not complete it. Blue Jays beat the Giants in San Francisco 10-0. Cubs beat the Orioles 9-7 in Baltimore. 5 home runs in that game for Chicago, including 2 by Pete Crow Armstrong. Tigers beat the A's 6-1 in Detroit. Jake Rogers, Spencer Torkelson hit home runs in that game for the Tigers. The Braves beat the Pirates 3-0 in in Pittsburgh today. Joey Bart hit a home run in that game for Atlanta. Speaking of really good outings, the right-hander Jared Jones, he threw 6 no-hit innings. That might have been perfect innings. I got to look that up in a second. It was no hit, I know. Is it perfect? Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. I can't remember what I saw earlier. But I'll look it up for you. Either way, Jones was great. 6 at least no-hit innings. I think they might have been perfect. And not enough, though. Braves win it 3-0. Rays beat the Yankees 3-0 in Tampa Bay. Shane McClanahan, 6 1/3 innings, no runs given up, picked up the win for Tampa Bay as the Yanks continue to struggle. The Marlins beat the Mariners 2-0 in Miami. Kyle Stowers, a home run in that game for the Fish. For the Nationals, Luis Garcia Jr. hit his 20th home run. Nats beat the Astros 8-2 in Washington. Reds beat the Phillies 11-5 in Cincinnati. Sal Stewart hit 2 home runs in that game for Cincy. The Mets beat the Royals 6-2 in New York. Red Sox beat the White Sox 5-0 in Chicago. Jake Bennett, really good start for him. 7 scoreless innings for Bennett in the Red Sox win. Twins walked it off in the Guardians 6-5 in Minnesota. Alan Roden, a walk-off single in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Cardinals beat the Brewers 5-1 in St. Louis. Angels beat the Rangers 13-1 in Arlington. Mike Trout came off the IL earlier today, hit a home run. Joe Adell hit 2 home runs in that one for the Halos. And finally, Dodgers beat the Rockies 4-3 in LA tonight. Go-ahead RBI hit for Mookie Betts in the 8th inning in that game. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Wednesday. Let me get you that information on Jared Jones. I know it was 6 no-hit innings. Was it 6 perfect innings? Yeah, it was 6 perfect innings. Yeah, 6 perfect innings. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I had seen that. Okay. 6 perfect innings for Jared Jones, not just no-hit innings. But again, Braves won that game 3-0. So throw it out the window for Jared Jones. Not good enough, Jared. Just kidding. 6 perfect innings. He can't do more with 8 strikeouts. But the Braves did score late and won that game 3-0. Final score here tonight, Padres 10 and the Diamondbacks 4. Let's hear tonight's play the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's Play of the Game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
Here's the pitch. Bogart swings, hits it on the ground, off the glove of the diving Vargas, kicks into left field. Fernando has scored. Merrill's right behind him. A 2-run single for Xander Bogaerts. The Padre lead is now 4-1.
The X-Man Xander Bogaerts in that bottom half of the 5th inning. That really felt to me like the biggest hit of the game, the biggest sequence of the game. Again, that was with the starter Cabrera. Still out there working. He hit Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis then steals second. Then Merrill hits a comebacker back to Cabrera. He freezes, and he's got Tatis sort of meandering off the second base back, but not that far. Tatis wasn't darting for third or anything like that. And then Cabrera, he throws behind Tatis. I didn't think he had any chance to do that and get him. Tatis gets back into second, and then they try to get the throw to first base, and it's too late. Merrill beats it out, so it was a fielder's choice, and everybody was safe. And then Cabrera, to add, salt in the wound, he then balks over the runners to second and third, and then the infield has to come in, and that ended up being significant because Bogaerts hits a ground ball that gets by the shortstop, and if the infield's not drawn in, I don't know that's a hit for Xander. So ends up being a sequence that then leads to a 2-run single, and the lead for the Padres goes from 2-1 to 4-1 in that fifth inning. So big sequence there, big hit for the X-Man, and that was tonight's play of the game. All right, taking a look ahead to tomorrow, the series finale of this 4-game set between the Diamondbacks and the Padres. First pitch tomorrow, back to our usual start time of 6:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage will begin at 5:40. Pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Griffin Canning on the mound for the Padres, right-hander Merrill Kelly on the mound for Arizona. Again, pregame coverage begins at 5:40. Certainly hope you can join us then. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the free Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage here tonight. I got a message in the on the internet stream. This is actually from Facebook. Tracy writing. I'm going to read this before we go. Tracy saying, "Hi, Sam. Thanks for the tip on the curry bun at Petco. It was a great dinner tonight." See, that's why I give you the dinner recommendations. That's why I give you the food recommendations. Because when I have something really good, I want you to know about it so you can come to the ballpark and get it. And I said, I don't think this was today. I think Tracy, I think this was yesterday. Wasn't it yesterday? I said, and I've had a lot of the food here. Honestly, there's not a whole lot in this ballpark at this point that I haven't tried at least once. And the food's great, as you know. But I had not had the Coco Ichibana. And I still haven't had any of the chicken curry dishes. I'm going to get to that. But I passed by the other day, walking around. I passed by, and I was struck by the curry bun. I was struck by it. I said, you know what? That looks perfect for what I need right now, a curry bun. So I go to Coco Ichibana, I grab a curry bun, take it upstairs. I eat this curry bun, and it was delicious. It was doughy. It was soft. It was a little sweet with the dough. Not too sweet, but a little sweet with the dough. The curry inside, really good. Easy to eat at your seat as well. I was thinking about that. So I said on the pregame yesterday, I said, hey, if you pass by the curry buns at Coco Ichibana, go get yourself a curry bun. And how about Tracy? Tracy listening and enjoyed the curry bun tonight. So Tracy, thank you for taking the recommendation. Glad you had the bun, and hope you had a great time at the ball game here tonight. All right, enough from us. Let's go home. Final totals here tonight for the Padres: 10 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. They left on 7. For Arizona, 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They left on 6. Winning pitcher tonight, Michael King, who improves to 6-7. Losing pitcher was Jose Cabrera, who drops to 0-2. Time of game, 2 hours, 57 minutes, and the crowd here at Petco Park on this Wednesday evening, 39,423. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 6:40. Our pregame coverage begins at 5:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator tonight, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 10 and the Arizona Diamondbacks 4. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.